3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Hey, how y'all doing today? I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and if not, perhaps we can help make it a little bit better. And I say we because today I have another guest with me. This is Hayden.
Hello. I'm happy to be back again.
Yes,
To
last time.
look at some doodles.
Yeah, last time you were here was for the Eden Quest. Concept art.
Yeah, that one was really cool. A lot of pastels and stuff. First thing I'm noticing here is that you misspelled apocalypse.
Yes, I know. Later on, I correct that. I catch
Okay,
it.
good.
Because
right now this is like DC version of apocalypse where it's spelled Lips. Lips. Apocalypse.
Oh no. Yes. Well, this was a project that I started way back in like June or July. I was going to do Mecha month and just have mechs all month long, and I've just now finishing it.
That's a very long month.
Yeah. But this was one of the drawings that I started back in June and just recently finished.
Yeah. I do really like the selection of, like, I don't know, the fact that they're these animal mechs, like that each one has kind of a an animal motif. I mean, I guess human is it's sort of an animal, but like I don't know, it seems to fit pretty well with the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse theme and motif. It feels very biblical.
Yes, well, it is because of course the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse are from the Bible, obviously.
Well,
but
yeah.
I also drew other inspirations from the Bible. Each of the animal motifs for the horsemen here come from the four heads of, I believe it's the seraphim, as described in the Bible, the biblically accurate seraphim that have
they have
3 sets of wings.
Yeah.
And then they have 4 faces. One is an ox, one is an eagle, one is a human, and one is a lion.
Biblically accurate angels, baby.
Yeah.
I love that how you started off. Well, number one, the fact that disease is human. Number 2.
Yeah, it was just a pun on the whole idea that humans are disease.
We just go full kaiju movie and go, maybe we're the monsters.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. What a revolutionary concept. No one's ever thought of this before. But I like how starting off the human one it literally just looks like a face that's going oh.
Oh no. Yeah, so I kind of was going off of like some sort of like mask, like the theater masks.
Yeah.
Because humans are always putting on some sort of theater. And then I was thinking like disease, and I was like, okay, well, what's the human disease? Okay, so I guess it's like over industrialization wrecking the environment or something. It's kind of a generic thing to do, but I thought that it'd be really neat to make this one like some sort of steampunk mech that's powered by a giant furnace in its stomach, so it's like consuming. There's a lot of like stuff you could read into this.
Yeah, it reminds me of this one game. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Godhood or something like that, but it's an old MOBA. I think that's what it is. But it has like these like god generals that you command on the battlefield, and they have like these sort of, I don't know, like they kind of look like Shadow of the Colossus type beasts. One of them's like a castle man.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes me think of like the style of that, where it's just like you would see this thing just like roaming off in the distance behind a mountain range, and it'd be so big and so far away and just spewing so much smoke that it kind of like fades into the horizon. Like when you see, I don't know, like it kind of like looks hazy, and the sky kind of blends in with it, just kind of how big it is.
Yeah.
Like something like the Mononui robot.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I gotcha.
Maybe
Those,
not that
I
big,
always,
but like, maybe the size of a mountain.
I
Like some
always,
concept art you would see.
yeah, I always love those. Like, it's just so impossibly big. Like, there's a dragon in the lore of Lord of the Rings, from like ancient times that was like bigger
Oh,
than a whole. It's like
yeah.
Angalikon
And Calagon the Black.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the size of a whole mountain range, and it's just like, goodness.
Yeah,
But
I love anything that's like impossibly big.
and that was the idea for these. That's why they're like super detailed, was because I wanted to give the idea of scale, making these things huge. And you'll see it more in a drawing that I did of War.
Yeah.
And really War was the first one that I designed on here, but also I started the drawing of War first.
Yeah.
Before I did this, I decided to sketch out all of them together. But yeah,
But yeah, explain explain yourself. Explain like the reasoning, like the picking and choosing, like which ones have like what and stuff, like what weapons and why specifically these ones and things. Like you mentioned the Seraphim being the choice
yeah.
for these. The death
What?
being a lion, that one's interesting because I think you mentioned this to me earlier, but that one's supposed to be like, the devil will come as a roaring lion type thing, or
Yeah, that factored into it a little bit, and I figured, also like a lion is always like this symbol of like this sort of unstoppable, ruler
Yeah.
or something, and then also, Jesus is called the Lion of Judah. So I just thought that, death is always such a big presence in like, the the inclusion of a character of death is always supposed to be like this imposing presence. So I figured that the lion would work best for that, because I also figured that, the ox would work best for war, because that's like big, tough guy,
Yeah.
whatever. And the four typical harbingers of apocalypse, the Four Horsemen, are, most of the time everybody calls them war, death, disease, and famine.
yeah,
Although actually, and I'll get to this in a second, according to the Bible, they are not named as such. In fact, I don't even think that the disease and famine fit the description given in the Bible. In the book of Revelation. As you can see here,
Ooh, let's make him squinty.
well, what I ended up doing was I decided that because I gave the ox only one Cyclops eye,
yeah.
I thought, wouldn't it be cool if each progressing one had one more eye? So the ox has one eye, the eagle has two eyes, the human has three eyes, and the lion has four eyes. Which also the lion is some sort of like centaur thing.
Yeah, I was noticing that as like, I think it's funny how like most of these are humanoid and stuff, but the lion also can like go down and be more of an animalistic shape.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Obviously the biggest thing that came to mind when you showed me this was the Warhammer 40k Chaos Gods, with war being corn, disease or dissension. No, yeah, dissension.
Okay, so yeah, you can see here I've changed their names. I started to change their names, and I've started giving them their weapons, and I'm gonna soon start coloring them in as according to the biblical account. Here, where it says, where John is shown the vision, and it says, and I saw, behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Well, I forgot to draw the crown, but...
well, the crown could be the horns.
Yeah, the crown could be the horns, or it could have been the mane on the lion. But yeah, that's obviously war.
Oh, for a second I thought you were just erasing
the
lines.
So what happened was I made a mistake and drew the lines on the white background instead of as a separate layer. So I had to make a very pale layer over their things.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have found a flaw.
A lot of depictions of the horsemen will make War the red one and give him the sword because, it makes sense. But actually in the Bible, he's on a white horse. So I based their colors off the horses and their weapons, what they had in them. So the second one, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Now, I understand that does sound like war, but to me, it sounds more like dissension.
Yeah, which is, it's doubly funny that, interesting that you picked an eagle because, the chaos, going on with the chaos god thing. It's Zinch. I think that's how you pronounce it. But, he's commonly depicted as a two-headed, bird-like creature. And he's like change and disorder and everything like malleable and stuff, so it really fits with that.
That's funny because I drew these before you got into Warhammer. But anyway, then the last one is the third one is, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand, and he measures, like, food and stuff. So I wasn't sure what to call him, but balance. And then I also gave him, like, the clay toes from the vision that I think it's Nebuchadnezzar sees in the Book of Daniel, which also has a lot of end-day prophecy in it, too. And then, of course, death. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
I like how you translated that as he just has it in a snow globe.
Yeah, he has hell in a snow globe.
Yeah.
Well, because I drew his hand like that, and I was like, what do I do? Like, okay, I'll just give him a little orb. And then, I turned that into hell in a snow globe.
Yeah, I do think that's it.
It's a cold day in hell.
But, yeah. Dang.
Okay, so, here's the final drawings of each of them. Oh, I completely forgot to tell you what I had the concept for these guys was for.
Oh, yeah.
I had thought, what if there was like a story or a movie or whatever where it was, or an anime, I don't know. I had been listening to a lot of Dragon Force.
Yes.
And
perfect herald for the end times.
Yes, yeah. So the idea was, what if this like it's set in medieval times, or it's a medieval fantasy, right?
Yeah.
So you got knights and stuff and elves and whatnot, mostly humans probably, and dwarves and whoever, versus the Revelation scale apocalypse, but it's robots from space.
Yeah.
Giant machines that just like tower over them.
I mean, it feels pretty like accurate to a Dragon Force song, that's for sure. But no, that is just something really neat, is the idea that these things are machines.
Yeah.
And I don't know, these godlike machines. I've always been fascinated with stuff that's like, it feels like it's been built, but it's also has this sort of deity quality to it. And yeah, it looks really like, it looks really neat. And like these things, like I mentioned earlier, like they would be like thousands of stories tall or something, or literally the size of a mountain.
Yeah.
Like you could see like Dissension, the eagle, like maybe flying over a city Rodan style, and that kicking up a whole like hurricane in its wake.
Yeah.
And
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. That's that was the idea for these guys. Um yeah, but I think that's probably we're almost out of time. Anything else you want to say?
They look very cool.
Thank you.
I do think that the ox with his bow might get a little tangled up because of the horns.
That's a good point.
But yeah, other than that, very, very nice.
Well, thank you. And we'll be having you back for part 2 of the apocalyptically giant robot.
Apocalyptically giant robot.
Yeah, we'll be taking a look at the concept for war.
Cool.
All right.
Tune in, ladies and gents.
Everybody have a good day, and we'll see you later.
Adios.
Bye. Oops.